Yeah. So in previous session, we have just seen about the brief introduction to your artificial intelligence. So what is your AI? How AI has came into some? What is the need of AI? So all these things we have discussed. And in previous session also, I have said discussed about definition for AI. So hope everybody remember this definition. A normal definition what we have taken, a man-made thinking power, and next a standard definition about in terms of your computer science keywords. So anything which behaves like human, thinks like humans, and able to make decisions, then it can be termed as your something like AI. So also we have seen why we should learn AI. So what is the need of learning your AI? So okay, let's continue the session now with this topic. So why AI has came into market now? What made AI such an important thing? Okay, yeah. So I hope everybody is seeing my screen, right? No disturbances. Anybody can respond once.
No
Visible,
disturbance.
sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you. So yeah, so AI has came into market since 1940s only, but the demand for AI has not been such a wide thing in previous years. But now AI is need of the hour. AI is very important now because all the industries are concentrating on new innovations. Even government is funding a lot of projects for regarding your AI. So recently, I have been part of his Smart India Hackathon, and I have seen many of the students have done wonderful projects. Even our college also, many students are trying to do projects in terms of your AI area, because AI has a lot of like a scope for innovation. So it's like IoT, it's like big data. All these things are now available in our hand. So everybody can now easily invent things. It's not only like innovation, like remodifying or reusing the previous innovations and trying to make it something bigger. So in terms of that, recently I have seen a wonderful project in Smart India Hackathon. It has won third prize in the country level. So it's something like it's an application designed for deaf and dumb people. So basically people who are deaf and dumb cannot uh, cannot talk, right? So dumb people, like, they cannot talk. So there is an application which students of fourth year students have designed that. So it talks about, the project name is like something like Six Sense. So whenever we do some actions, so basically people who are dumb, those who cannot talk, like to basically show some actions like something like this indicates something. So whatever the actions they are showcasing, that are trained to a machine learning. Means the actions are recorded as video, and the video whatever they have made, whenever you show a action, it will try to display the text. Suppose if I say I want to talk, something like this, so it will display that. So that is something, a good project which I have seen. Likewise, there are a lot of projects which can be done in the upcoming years. So that's the reason we need to go through these basic things, like what is the actual challenges which AI facing. So what, as a student, what should I learn with respect to AI? If I want to design a project in terms of AI, what is the knowledge I need to get? So in today's session, we'll try to discuss such type of things. Yeah, starting with demand for AI. So why there is a lot of demand for AI now? Because we have got more computational power machines. Like suppose if I say we have got some cloud now. Cloud is something like a huge amount of data, irrespective of size, data can be stored. So any data can be stored. At the same time, any data can be processed and again restored in the cloud. Not only the cloud, it can be like a workstations. And you have seen in Srishti, you are having a computer vision, like augmented reality and virtual reality, sort of things. So all these are some new innovations, some new technologies which are making AI simple now. So not only that, even big data, whatever we will be learning in the upcoming years. So big data is something very important part of your AI. So you cannot say it is part of AI. It is like a subtype of your AI. So if you want to full-fledgedly learn about your AI, you need to have knowledge on all these areas. It might be respect to your machine learning, it can be big data. So in big data you are having big data uses a lot of high end machines like Hadoop cluster, where you can store huge amounts of data and parallelly process huge amount of data. So all the MNC companies like IBM, Google, all these people are now working on with big data, That's the reason we are able to get huge amount of response in very short span of time. Apart from big data, now we are also having some better algorithms with respect to your deep learning. So in deep learning, like artificial neural networks and colony algorithms, these are the previously available algorithms. But if you want to run those algorithms, you need high computation machines, which are available now. So if you anytime go visit a software industry, you'll be having lot of servers over there. The servers are high-end systems where you can run any type of algorithms. So now, because of the high computation power, whatever you are having, there is lot of demand now. And coming to the last phase, you can see broad investment. This is one very important thing which is now making AI very important. So previously, in 1940s and 50s, there were no resources for scientists. They are having lot of ideas. They were having like, we want to invent a robot, we want to do all such type of things. There were a lot of ideas, but there was no chance for them to make things possible. There was no support for them from any industry. There was no support from government. So they didn't have huge amount of money. So there was no such type of things for them. But now, because of the future needs, everybody is now aware of what is future, and they are trying to investment. So everywhere, all the MNC companies, even government, everybody is trying to invest in terms of your AI, and that's making everything possible now. So all the innovations whichever happen now, mostly are because of the huge amount of investment trusting on the technology. Okay. Yeah, we'll go on with the next thing. Yeah. So with respect to that, what are the goals of AI, or what are the challenges of AI? So yeah, so hope everything is fine, guys. Can anybody wants to respond? Yeah, are you texting me? Yeah, anybody can unmute yourself and just give me whether it's everything's okay or not. Yes, anybody? So once I'm presenting my screen, I cannot open this chart.
Fine, sir.
So you can unmute yourself and see me. Can we
Continue, sir.
can we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Yeah. So now let's see about what are the goals of AI, or what are the challenges of AI, and what we should address in the upcoming years. That's what we need to have a clarity. So as I said, anything which can behave like humans, or think like humans, or act like humans can be termed as AI. The first goal will be like replicating human intelligence. So it can be a robot, it can be any application of a mobile phone, anything like the automatic fingerprint, or the eye lock. The using eye, we will be unlocking our mobile phone. So all these things are some good applications which have already been discovered. But in the upcoming years, what else can we do? So it should be like anything which can replicate human intelligence and make our work easier, then it can be a good innovation. That is one of the good challenge we need to understand. Next thing is solving knowledge intensive tasks, like solving high end puzzles in basically in programs. It's very difficult thing. And now even you people have are been using, yeah, even now people are using all these code bit applications and all these things, and you are having some high end editors now, so which can automatically sense, like whenever you are doing a mistake, it's trying to proclaim that there is this mistake at line 4. All these things are something intelligent machines which are making our problems easier. So if something like that can be done by any human being with respect to any algorithm or any machine learning type of things, that is something very important for us in the upcoming years. And next challenge is an intelligent connection of perception and action. So yeah, so anything, as I said, which can provide intelligence to machine, which can do some actionable things. Like recently, there was a small news which I have seen. Like a robot will be serving people based on the order. In mobile application, once you give your, it will be menu will be displayed, and once you give your order, a robot will come and deliver you things. This is actually happened somewhere in Bangalore. So I have seen this. So something like this. Any innovations? So this is making something a task easier for us, and there is no high-end manpower required there. So such type of innovations can make our works easier. Yeah. So, and also some innovations which are already happened, like playing automatically a chess with the system. It's already invented, but this is one application which you need to think in the next level and try to think what else games can develop with respect to this. So example, chess is one game, it's already invented. What are the other games which I can invent with respect to attracting people? How what are the innovations I can do? That is one important thing. And one more very important thing, planning some surgical operations. Yeah. So basically in warfare, and at that time, because of that, many people are dying, many soldiers are being uh, dying, right? So in warfare and surgical operations, if you are able to use any robots or any drone sort of things which can identify the threat before, that is some important application. So we need to think in this area in the upcoming years. So because we are in third year now, and if you are moving for next fourth year, so you'll be definitely trying to do some good projects. So at that time, if you are able to understand such type of things in the third year, and if you are just planning to learn something better in this one year, definitely at the end of fourth year you'll be part of such type of things. You can just try to innovate some basic things. Yeah. Driving a car in traffic, automatical driving car. So Tesla is one company which is trying to uh, work on this since many years, since 2010. This has been under innovation only. Still there are a lot of problems to be addressed. Yeah. So many companies are trying for that. Okay. So these are some of the challenges or goals which I have kept here. But apart from this, if you once Google, a lot of things will be revealed. You can get lot of challenges which you can address with respect to your AI. Okay. Yeah. So as we already discussed prerequisites of AI, I just want to again introduce some more things with respect to AI. So if you want to work with AI in the upcoming years, what is the knowledge you need to have? What are the subjects which I need to learn, and what are the prototypes which I need to learn? This is a small slide representing such type of things. So you need to have a knowledge base with respect to market. So what is the statistics means, what are the innovations which already happened, and how can I reinvent them with a better modifications? Because every time we need not to invent the wheel, right? So every time a new innovation is highly impossible. You need to just try to focus on previously invented things, and you need to try to showcase them in the better way. That is also a part of an invention only. And as I said, expert systems is again a very important thing. So you will be learning about this in the upcoming unit 3, about what are the expert systems you need to have. So expert systems will be taught by me only in the unit 3. So at that time we'll be having some insights on that. Yeah. And next, deep learning. So deep learning will be a very important subject which you need to learn. So unluckily, you people are not having this in your curriculum, but your juniors are having this. You need to, if you want to work on any advanced projects with respect to image processing, or with respect to any healthcare sectors, you need to have knowledge on deep learning. So this is a challenge for you, especially for you people, to learn deep learning by yourself. So if you want to learn deep learning or any subject with respect to AI, you need to be good at Python. So I hope many of you are already having a idea of Python in your free time. Like now in lockdown, you are finding a lot of time to learn things. It can be Coursera or whatever the course you are interested in. You just try to concentrate on Python, because even in CodeVita also you are having this Python as your module, where you can do your coding. So in the upcoming years, especially for your batch, Python will play a major role. So it can be AI, it can be deep learning, it can be machine learning, it can be NLP, it can be computer vision. So any sort of things, Python will be the major role for any for developing things. So definitely in your fourth year, whenever you're doing projects, you need to have a Python knowledge. That's how you can reinvent things, or you can do some betterments with respect to your projects. Okay, so deep learning teaches you a lot of things, many advanced algorithms, artificial neural networks, neural networks. There are a lot of stuff with respect to deep learning. So yeah, so if you want to do some innovations with respect to your AI or any projects, you need to have your knowledge on Python with respect to your deep learning also, and machine learning also. And computer vision is one important area where you can do some lot of innovations. Recently, one of the third year student who is now moving on to fourth year has done a project with respect to this computer vision. So that is with respect to your automatic mouse detection. So without mouse only, if I just do something like this, if I suppose if I'm using a laptop now, I just want to scroll my mouse. So without mouse only, if I want to do this, so up to now you have seen a wireless keyboard or wireless mouse, but now without any hardware, if I want to use a mouse, how to do that? That is one project which has been done by your third year students, which we have seen in the previous year. For that, it's very simple. In computer vision, you are having some color codes for that. You will be having some tapes to your hand or some radium such type of things, like red color and green color. With respect to that sign, you can double click or right click, or double click, and use some type of things. So these are some innovations which are already in the market, and you need to have knowledge on such type of things. Okay, yeah, machine learning is again one important area. If you want to work with deep learning, you need to have a prior knowledge on machine learning. uh, and next one is natural language processing, which actually talks about text mining, spatial mining, where suppose if I say I am typing a query in Google, so like I want to search something, how to learn AI. So it will try to recommend you some things. Some already previously available text will be available for us. So this is something like natural language processing. It will try to understand the semantics, the grammar, or the text, whatever you're giving, and it will try to reciprocate your query. So what is your need and what are the recommendations it will try to provide. So that is one important area, like natural language processing. So whatever you are seeing on the screen, guys, I know many of you are now just entering into the actual digital world, or if I say clearly say, you are now entering into a computer science engineering world. You need to these are the challenges or important subjects which you need to focus on. Okay, one second, I'll just take a small snap here. Okay. Okay, so keep this in your mind, like these are the important things which I need to concentrate in the upcoming years if I want to do some projects, or if I want to get into some software industry with some good pay. Definitely these are the things which you need to learn. Okay, so guys, hope everybody's here with me. Let's once check.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So moving on for next slide. So now we will go on to the syllabus. The first concept of your unit 1 is history of AI. So as I said, if you want to learn any sort of technology or innovations, you need to first learn from where it has been started. So here's a small pictorial representation of the history of AI. Yeah. So this is a brief image which explains you the stages or different years or innovations which happened in terms of your AI. So starting from 1943 till date, there are a lot of stages from where AI has started and from up to where it has moved. This is what we will see in the today's session. And previously in your WhatsApp and in your chat also, I have kept a link like a just overview of the history of AI. There you might have seen since beginning of 1943 what are the innovations, what are the challenges which AI has observed, and how different innovations have been happened, and who is part of that. Okay, so many of them are joining still it's 10:30 and still I can see people joining. From tomorrow's next session, try to maintain your times. Okay, so I'll not admit them after 10:10. Okay, yeah. So just have a look at this screen. Like you can see like almost 14 sort of things, like different stages, and what are the different companies investing with respect to your AI. So I'll anyway share this PPT once I complete all these concepts, then you can have a glance at that. Yeah, I'll just move forward. Okay, so John McAtee, he is the person who has coined this name. So artificial intelligence name has given by this person in the year 1956. Uh, when actually innovation started in 1943 with respect to artificial neurons. But later on, once after 12 or 13 years, this person John McCarthy has coined the name called as artificial intelligence. You need to keep this in your mind. Yeah, somebody is talking. Please mute yourself, guys. Okay, so starting with the initial stages of your AI, that is 1943 to 1952. This is the actual maturation of your AI. So this is where AI has come into picture in 1943. Yeah, guys, somebody. Srikanth, who is that?
Rizwan.
Yeah, guys, try to mute yourself. And 561 is entering now. Yeah, Srikanth, what's your roll number? Srikanth?
Sir, Srikanth's number is 10, sir.
Roll number 10. Okay. He's not here. Shashank, what's your number?
75.
Okay, I'm making you co-host. Try to avoid these disturbances whenever it's
Yes, sir.
okay. Guys, I'm just trying to like right. Yeah, so I'm just trying to record these sessions and try to upload in the YouTube channel, so that whoever is missing sessions can again recall whenever it's required. So any disturbances will not be encouraged. It will again cause you troubles. So because if there's a disturbance in your class, I cannot upload it to your YouTube channel. So try to maintain some discipline for your need only. Okay, so I'm recording all these sessions and trying to keep it in my YouTube channel. It will be available for you all whenever whoever is missing the session, I can again recall that. Okay, so please, it's a request, try not to do any disturbances with notice or without notice. Just mute yourself. Okay, yeah. So in 1943, uh, Warren McLeod is the first person who has given some insights on this AI. So he has understood that our brain will be working with respect to some neurons. So you all know, right? In biology, we have studied neurons will be the main source of your brain to communicate from one action to other action. So there's a small response in our stimulus in our body. Immediately we try to respond. So which we have learned in as part of your reflex actions. So in the chapter of reflex action in biology, you have seen a neuron, how it will try to respond immediately. In the same manner, this person has got some idea, like why can't we invent something which is similar to some neurons? That's how Warren McLeod and Walter Pitts in 1943 uh, proposed artificial neurons. So why can't we design some artificial neurons for communication? This is the idea of actually AI. So after 6 years again, Donald Hebb has updated a rule that is about strengthening of neurons. So how they try to communicate between each connection, they try to do that, and it is called as Hebbian learning. And in 1950, this is some important phase of AI. So where Turing test has been conducted. That is, Alan Turing was an English mathematician. He has tried to keep a Turing test like computing machinery and intelligence, where machine will be having ability to think, or machine will be having ability to think better than human beings. That's what is the proposal, and that's what he has made in the 1950. So this is the initial stage which has happened in the year 1943 to 52, and this is how a small innovation has started with respect to your AI. And moving on to the second stage, that is the birth of your AI. So how actually, as I said, John McCarthy has coined the name called as artificial intelligence. So this happened in the Dartmouth conference which was held. There he has come up with a proposal, like there are a lot of innovations happening with respect to some artificial things. So why can't we give this name as artificial intelligence? And in that conference it has been finalized. And also in that conference at that time, there were many high level computer languages like Fortran, Lisp, COBOL. These were invented and these were used as part of your AI. And guys, keep this in your mind. Lisp is an important language which is very important for AI. So if you want to work with AI in the upcoming years, so now we are having Python for a lot of things like programmatical things. But if you want to provide some intelligence to some machines, Lisp is one important language which we need to learn in the upcoming years. So if you want to add some intelligence to a machine, you need to also have knowledge on Lisp. So Fortran and COBOL are now not in a much usage, but Lisp is since years, and still we are using that for artificial intelligence. Because of these language inventions, there was a lot of enthusiasm in the scientists, like something new can be invented, and they tried to move on. Means all the inventions have started now. That's why the next stage is called as golden years of AI. So the years, uh, yeah, 1956 to 74 are called as golden years, because uh, many programming languages were invented and they tried to understand the programming languages and reinvent things. So in 1966, the first chatbot has been developed, that's called as Eliza. So now every website is having a chatbot, and everybody, even second year students, or you also can design a chatbot. It's very simple, because Python is providing you all the libraries to do that, and it's very simple for us to now design a chatbot. But in the year 1966, with respect to there is no Python on other languages, they were having only Fortran, all this Lisp, and they have developed a chatbot in the year 1966, and it is named as Eliza. This was one of the good innovations with respect to AI, and people started inventing things from here on. That's why these years are called as some golden years. And in the year 1972, after again 5 years, one person from Japan has tried to invent a robot and named it as Wabot 1. So it was his initial innovation of AI, and he tried to invent a small robot and tried to provide some intelligence to that. So that's how Japan, China, and all the foreign countries had tried to understand AI, and they tried to move on with your AI. And next, this is the period 1974 to 80. The 6 years is called as first AI winter, because previously there were some small innovations, but because of lack of resources in these years, the 6 years of span, there was lot of ideas available in the market to the scientists, but there was a problem for resources, because there was no person to fund this. Government were not showing interest because of the not appropriate results. So people are trying to invent things, but the results were not appropriate. That's the reason government also stopped funding. They were not funding to any scientist. Even at that time, there was no industry which was supporting them. That's the reason there was a small break for AI innovation. In these 6 years, people has lost interest, because we are trying to invent things, but there is no support. Nobody is supporting me. So everybody started like artificial intelligence is not going to happen now. We need lot of resources if you want to develop something. That's the reason people lost interest toward that, because of the lack of resources and lack of funding for the new innovations. Scientists have lost their interest, and AI has again come down in this span. And next, again from 1980 to 87, this was again some important stage, because people has lost interest in the years 1980. There was some again a small idea like, why do we need lot of resources when we actually do programming? If you want to do work with programming, a basic system is required, and high end, because lot of investment is not required, we can just go on with programs. That's the name given, called as expert systems. So if you want to design your expert system or provide intelligence to your system, you need to have a knowledge of programming, which actually doesn't cost more. That's how people try to move on, and they try to learn programming more, and they try to develop everything with respect to programming. That's why AI has again started a boom in this 7-8 years of span. Again in the year 1980, the first national conference on artificial intelligence was held, and at Stanford University. So guys, you need to keep all these in your mind, because whenever an examination, if they ask you to write about history of AI, you need to write all these things. And again, second AI winter again happened in this short span of time. Like, people were again good at programming. Once everybody is good at programming, again they were in need of some hardware requirements, like machines were again required. That's why this region is called as second AI winter. So again, because they were not having good fundings, and everything was costing more, they tried to make a cost effective innovation. It's called as XCON. An expert system was invented in this year of time. And next, after this 1993, this in this span, everybody tried to understand that something should be done with respect to AI if you want to technically improve yourself. Now, in this time, IBM came forward. IBM is an MNC company which actually came forward for innovations with respect to AI, and they have invented something called as Deep Blue. Deep Blue is something which is a innovation by IBM. It tried to defeat the world chess champion Gary Kasparov. So he was the world champion at that time in the 1997, and a computer tried to computer played against him, and he was defeated by a computer with respect to IBM algorithm. That was some good innovation which IBM has done. And because IBM came forward and tried to prove something with respect to AI, other industries also tried to invest with respect to AI. And in 2002, with respect to AI, a vacuum cleaner has been developed, and it's called as Roomba. That is the first small innovations in that area. Yeah, in 2006, as I said, because IBM has laid some foundation, like it has got lot of name with respect to AI. Facebook, Twitter, and all the Netflix, Microsoft, all these companies came forward for investing, because government was not showing much support for funding. MNC companies came forward, and they tried to invest with respect to innovations. So that's how Facebook has got lot of emergence, even Twitter trends, Netflix recommendations. These all things are now in a boom because of the investment done by those companies. Okay, yeah. Now let's talk about current generation, current scenario, 2011 to up to this decade. What is happening? Because every company is now trying to, yeah, now trying to invest. This is what happened. There's a small slide here. What is Google doing with respect to AI? What is we can see Google Assistants, Cortana. These are applications have been invented, and even IBM Watson was some important innovation. It is now again in use. If you are going to IBM website, you can see IBM Watson application, which will try to solve heavy puzzles, or risk what we call complex puzzles or riddles can be solved using your IBM Watson. And also every industry is trying to now work with AI team, and they are trying to invent lot of things. Okay, so this is the brief history of your AI. So it's something a big history, because it's almost some 70 80 years AI. So you need to have a glance at that. That's why I have given you a small video, introductory video for your AI in the previous chart. And this is some important notes which we need to learn for your examination. Okay. Yeah. So guys, I just want to stop with this for today's session. And just I want to conduct a small poll. So I hope everybody is ready with that. So guys, ready with the poll? Is everybody active?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. So I'm just launching a poll. It will last for 1 minute. Try to give the answer. Yeah. Poll. Yeah. Vishal has raised his hand. Any doubt, Vishal? 5B6. Ten seconds more, guys. Make it soon. 30 of you didn't answer yet. It's already 1 minute. 20 more. Yes. More 15 members need to give the answer. Make it soon. Okay, I'm just ending the poll in 2 seconds. Yeah. So 85 of you answered and 14 are inactive. So I'm just sharing the results with you guys. You can see how many of you answered. 88% gave the correct answer. That is John McCarthy. Is the first. Yeah. So the right answer is John McCarthy is the person who has coined. So people, whoever gave the wrong answer, just have a glance at that. Okay. Yeah. So this is the session. The first topic of your AI has been now completed. That is history of AI. So after this class, I'll again send you one more video about that, about your AI history. Okay. So any doubts, guys? So we are having some 2 minutes of time where you can discuss about your doubts.